In today's Final Touch, a woman celebrates a milestone birthday over the weekend, 108 years old.
Incredible. One quote, looking great. I'd love to talk to her in person. I'm always fascinated by what do you eat, what do you drink,
Right.
do you exercise, what
and
is
I've
your
heard
secret?
the gamut, right? You hear the gamut from a shot of Jameson to Diet Coke to,
Yeah,
to
exactly.
God. So, all right. Well, thanks for joining us. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, bail has been set for the suspect accused of killing a Dodgeville man over the weekend. We will have the very latest.
A proposed bill at the Capitol would require Wisconsin law enforcement to enforce federal immigration laws. How immigration activists are responding.
Plus, the latest on plans for a new SSM health clinic in Madison. We'll tell you about the proposed redevelopment.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. Only 2 days until the Badger volleyball team takes on the Baylor Bears in the Final Four.
Very exciting. Today, Badger fans and the UW band gathered at the field house to send the volleyball team off to Pittsburgh. This is the third time in school history the Badgers have made it to the Final Four. Athletic Director Barry Alvarez told them it is their time to shine.
Don't make this game any bigger, this tournament, any bigger than what it is. We don't need any superhuman efforts. We just want you to play like you can play. And play like a great team that you are, and you'll bring home the bacon.
We just want to thank you guys so much for the endless support you guys have stuck with us through the beginning of the season and through all of our success at the end. So thank you so much.
The Badgers and the Bears faced off in September at the Fieldhouse. The Bears won that game in 4 sets. Wisconsin has not dropped a set in the NCAA tournament this year. You can watch the game Thursday, 7 o'clock on ESPN2.
Next at 5, the man arrested for first-degree murder in Madison over the weekend has his bond set at $1 million. 20-year-old Marcus Hamilton was in court this afternoon accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Gunnar Holum of Dodgeville. Prosecutors will allege Hamilton shot Holum in the 1000 block of Spruce Street near downtown Saturday afternoon. Police say they believe Hamilton and Holum knew each other. The shooting, Madison's third homicide of the year. Hamilton due back in court Monday for his initial appearance.
Local law enforcement across Wisconsin could be forced to enforce federal immigration laws under a bill at the state capitol.
That controversial bill to ban sanctuary cities had a public hearing today. It has failed before, but still has immigration activists fighting to stop it. Amanda Quintana was at that hearing. She joins us now with details. Amanda?
Yes, this bill is targeting policies in Milwaukee and Madison that limit the amount of immigration enforcement that local police officers do. You may remember,
as we've seen in San Francisco, Maryland, Madison, Milwaukee, and elsewhere, many of these sanctuary city policies are so extreme, they're actually helping to shield dangerous convicted felons and putting law-abiding citizens in harm's way.
Senator Stephen Noss, who authored and introduced the bill to ban sanctuary cities, believes cities should be punished financially if they don't follow federal immigration law.
When aliens walk out the front of the jail that could have been handed over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for removal proceedings, they have the opportunity to commit additional crimes.
He pointed to Madison as an example, but ahead of today's public hearing, Acting Police Chief Vic Wall spoke in opposition of the bill, saying for years the city has had policies to limit officers' immigration enforcement, leading to more public safety and a stronger relationship with the community.
A law that that would remove our discretion to determine how we do business. And it would, in effect, require us to enforce federal immigration law would really have a chilling impact on our ability to develop those relationships, to build trust, and to work with all of our community members.
Wall is standing with activists who say the bill is an attack on immigrants, leading to a community in fear.
An individual with prominent Hispanic features had acid thrown in his face and was accused of being an illegal. Right? These are the types of measures that support that kind of thinking.
While supporters see it as protecting innocent Americans from violent criminals.
I don't see what the big objection is to this, people want to get these people out of their neighborhoods.
Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney tells us he also opposes the bill putting responsibilities on already overstressed municipalities, eliminating trust, and he says it would serve to drive immigrant victims of crime further into the shadows, empowering predators to prey on these vulnerable individuals, and in the end, making all our communities, immigrant and citizens alike, less safe. In the end, activists believe if it gets to Governor Tony Evers' desks, he will not sign it.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Temperatures are dropping across South Central Wisconsin. Let's check your first alert forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, it's been a cold day today, not bad by December standards, but it will turn colder for at least a day for tomorrow. As we take a look at visible cloud tracking, you can see we've had clouds for much of the day. They are starting to clear over northwestern Wisconsin, but underneath that blanket of clouds, there's a few snow flurries that are dropping southeastward across the central part of the state. High-resolution Doppler shows the snow flurries are very light and pretty widely scattered, so not everybody will see them, but that's the surge of colder air dropping southward. High temperatures today, upper 20s. Here in Madison, we topped out at 27. We're still at 26, but the cold air is already in central and northern Wisconsin and heading southward, so that as skies clear out later on tonight, we'll be down to around 5 degrees by tomorrow morning with wind chills down to 10 below zero. Tomorrow will be a sunny but cold day with a high temperature of 18, but temperatures will get back in the mid-30s on Thursday, and we'll see warmer conditions as we head toward the Christmas holiday. Of more details and weather.
Gary, thank you. A former Jefferson County deputy faces a felony burglary charge tonight after allegedly breaking into multiple homes. According to a criminal complaint, Janelle Garricky targeted many houses while the people living there were at a loved one's funeral. She was officially charged in connection to a burglary back in February. A Fort Atkinson family returned home to find an unknown woman in their house. The defendant claimed she was responding to a Facebook post and was there to clean. Court documents say in other incidents, Garricky claimed to be at homes to pick up items being sold on Facebook.
The teenager charged in a shooting incident that put Waukesha South High School on lockdown earlier this month will not have a preliminary hearing until well after the new year. Tyrone Smith got a new date for that court appearance today. His preliminary hearing will now be held on February 5th. Smith's accused of bringing a pellet gun to school and pointing it at another student's head. He was shot once in the leg and twice in the arm after police say Smith didn't comply with an officer's commands. If convicted on the charges he faces, Smith could spend up to a decade in prison.
The Oshkosh Police Department is currently investigating an inmate's escape this morning from a drug abuse correctional center in Winnebago County. Officers say 40-year-old Ryan Juergens was last seen in this maroon Chevy Trailblazer. Anyone with information is asked to call the Oshkosh Police Department.
SSM Health is ready to replace its 60-year-old clinic along Fish Hatchery Road.
And Charlotte DeLeste joins us with more details about the proposed $75 million first phase of the redevelopment. Charlotte?
Well, Eric and Susan, SSM Health will be filing its plans with the city tomorrow for approval. The facility would be built just north of its existing Fish Hatchery Road clinic. The 5-story, 180,000 square foot planned building will include primary care, imaging, as well as a pharmacy and lab, along with the return of specialty orthopedic and oncology care to the Fish Hatchery Road clinic. Pending city approval, which could take a few months, SSM Health wants its new South Madison campus to be a community mainstay for decades to come.
And that's why I love this investment, because this investment is right in the neighborhood where people live. Oftentimes you see investments like this be made out in the suburbs or far-reaching locations. We're right here in the city with that investment, and right where a population is in need of really good health options.
SSM Health says during the 2 years of construction, there will be no disruption to patient care at its Fish Hatchery Road clinic. They hope to break ground in the spring. Earlier this year, SSM Health listened to neighborhood concerns and decided not to build a block away on Park Street. The future of that site is yet to be determined.
All right, Charlotte, thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway is flipping the switch on the city's newest solar panel project. The panels are on top of Metro Transit's bus garage roof. It's a 120 kilowatt system that's expected to offset 98 metric tons of carbon dioxide each year.
This project is the most powerful solar project that we have here at the city. When finished, the project will have a whopping 334 solar panels, 1 inverter, and it's expected to offset 98 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is fantastic.
The project will help the city reach its 2030 goal of 100% renewable energy for city operations.
Governor Tony Evers today ordered the flags of the United States and the state of Wisconsin to be flown at half-staff tomorrow and Thursday in honor of former Oneida Nation Chairman Rick Hill. Hill was instrumental in developing and implementing national regulatory standards and policies for tribal government gaming. And under his leadership, the Oneida Nation signed its first gaming compact with the state of Wisconsin. Hill passed away last week. In Rock County tonight, the city of Janesville moving forward with plans to redevelop the old General Motors site. According to our partners at the Janesville Gazette, the Plan Commission approved what members are calling a flexible preliminary plan that can be used as a general roadmap for that project and a marketing tool for a new industrial park. The concept includes zoning for industrial, residential, and mixed-use areas, but changes may have to be made depending on who's interested in building there.
Local businesses are asking you to think small when finishing up your holiday shopping list.
There are things that they can do that Amazon can't do. Customer service is one of them, where they really excel in customer service and the personal service that they can provide people when they walk in the door. And then there's also the shipping issue. You know, when you receive something from Target or Amazon in the mail, it comes in a big old box, and sometimes there's a very small item inside a big box.
According to a retail economics study, when you spend $100 at a locally owned business, $68 will stay in the community. When you spend the same at a national chain, only $43 stays here. And another thing to consider, Amazon does not pay any local taxes. It is the local businesses that pay for local police, fire, and teachers.
More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, Rudy Giuliani standing by claims to justify the removal of the former ambassador to Ukraine. We'll explain.
And coming up tonight at 6, a Janesville grocery store announces it's closing. Find out how this will impact seniors in that area.
On Wall Street, a quick check of Tuesday trading numbers. The Dow gains 31 1/4. The Nasdaq adds 9. S&P 500 up just a point. We'll be right back. President Trump appears to be standing by his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, in his quest to dig up dirt on the president's political rivals.
Giuliani is boasting about his role in getting President Trump to remove former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. She was ousted in May as Giuliani and others pressed Ukraine to open investigation into the Bidens and the 2016 election. In a tweet today, Giuliani claimed recently acquired documentary evidence shows Yovanovitch perjured herself when she testified during the impeachment hearings.
He's a great gentleman, and he was, again, the greatest mayor in the history of New York. He knows what he's doing.
His role in conducting an inappropriate side foreign policy campaign on behalf of President Trump's personal political interests makes him not an appropriate witness for the Senate.
The Justice Department is investigating Giuliani's efforts in Ukraine to determine whether he violated any laws.
Meanwhile, the president sent a blistering letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ahead of the historic impeachment vote, writing, quote, "You and others on your committees have long said impeachment must be bipartisan. It is not. You said it was very divisive. It certainly is, and it will only get worse." President Trump faces two charges, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Democrats say the president pressured Ukraine to announce an investigation into his political rival Joe Biden and then blocked White House officials from complying with the White House inquiry.
One of our jobs as members of Congress is to make sure that the president does not violate the laws.
Look, you will impeach him. You have the votes. But at the end of the day, is it worth the integrity of the House?
The impeachment vote is expected to pass the Democratic majority in the House, but a subsequent trial in the Republican-controlled Senate is already sparking debate between party leaders. A trial is expected to be the first order of business in the new year.
Meanwhile, the federal government will not shut down after the House passed a $1.4 trillion spending package. That denies the president the $5 billion he requested to build a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border and raises the legal age to purchase tobacco products to 21. It also includes more than $400 million in additional federal grants to help local governments prepare for the presidential election next fall. President Trump is expected to sign the plan.
People in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama are cleaning up after a deadly string of at least 27 tornadoes ripped up homes, tore through neighborhoods. At least 3 people were killed. In Alexandria, Louisiana, most of a school and daycare center was shredded. In Guntown, Mississippi, a Baptist church was destroyed. It was one of at least 35 structures damaged in that area. According to a police dispatcher, several people were injured, but their conditions were unknown. The tornado that hit southwest Louisiana was on the ground for nearly 63 miles. As we deal with the chilly weather, they are really cleaning up a mess across the South, Gary.
You know, at this time of year, it's still possible to get severe weather. Back in 2018, there was a severe weather outbreak that brought tornadoes as nearby as central Illinois. But this one really targeted from eastern Texas through Louisiana and through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and today has been moving through parts of Georgia and northern Florida. In fact, as we take a look at the radar, you can see the squall line that brought the severe weather yesterday now pushing off the east coast and pushing down into northern Florida. But to the north, it's heavy snow that moved out of the central plains through St. Louis, Indianapolis, and now is heading through New England. But here in the Midwest, things are pretty quiet. There are some flurries through central Wisconsin. This is actually with a cold front dropping southward, and behind that front, the temperatures will drop off. But the one thing that will keep us from getting too cold is the lack of snow cover here in southern Wisconsin. To the south, there's that swath of snow from the system now in New England. Of course, the northern part of the Midwest has been hammered several times already in the late fall, and so they've got plenty of snow cover. By tomorrow morning, our wind chills could be from 0 to 10 below 0 with actual air temperatures in the single digits, but high temperatures will be back to between 40 and 45 from Friday through Christmas Day. And of course, not only we're not looking at any snow, but no rain at all. In fact, the next chance of precipitation after the flurries tonight will be some rain showers late in the day on Christmas Day. Looking at the temperatures over the next 10 days, you can see just how far above normal they'll be. The average high temperature should be around 28 degrees. Tomorrow will be at 18, but we jump up to 34 on Thursday, and then you can see that string of temperatures between about 40 and 45 all the way through Christmas Day. Even after Christmas, temperatures will drop off a little bit, but remain above normal. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, this is from the period between Christmas and New Year's, calling for above normal temperatures to continue over most of the eastern two-thirds of the nation, with the highest probabilities through the south-central part of the country, but also very high probabilities, about 70% into Madison. Precipitation expected to be above normal, and that's beyond Christmas. between Christmas and New Year's, there could be a couple of weather systems, but some of this will be in the form of rain because the temperatures are expected to be very mild. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison. Pretty quiet out there right now. The flurries haven't started in Madison. High today 27, the low 16, pretty close to the normals of 29 and 15, and right now we're 26 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, winds out of the west at 6 miles per hour, giving us a wind chill of 19 degrees. You can make out where the front is on this map. Temperatures 20s, close to 30 in southern Wisconsin, then they drop off into the single digits and drop below zero in northern Minnesota, and look at the wind chills. Teens here, pretty tolerable. Teens to near 20 below zero north of the Duluth Superior area. In fact, wind chill advisories have been issued for later tonight through much of north central Wisconsin and northwestern Wisconsin and northeastern Minnesota. Wind chill warning for the arrowhead of Minnesota, where wind chills could drop down to between 30 and 40 below zero. So our forecast for tonight calls for cloudy skies this evening with a chance for a flurry, then clear and colder overnight. The low temperature drops to 5 and wind chills down to 10 below zero by morning. Tomorrow should be mostly sunny and colder, the high temperature at 18. On future tracking, you can see a couple of flurries late tonight, and then those skies clear out and those temperatures nosedive into the single digits. Tomorrow, high temperatures only in the upper teens. A few clouds coming in late in the day tomorrow into tomorrow night, but notice how temperatures only drop into the mid-teens by tomorrow evening and then start rising overnight. And on Thursday, those winds out of the south and southwest will push temperatures up into the middle 30s. And from there, the temperatures continue to go up. Look for high temperatures between 40 and 45 beginning on Friday and lasting through Christmas Day with a high of 42. Maybe a rain shower late in the day on Christmas Day, mixing with some snow Wednesday night, and then ending on Thursday morning. Friday will be seasonably cold, highs in the lower 30s. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, there's the view of the Beltline at Park Street. Traffic moving slowly but steadily in both directions. As far as slowdowns are concerned, we're seeing our usual delays on the eastbound side of the Beltline from Monona Drive back to just west of Verona Road. Westbound delays start around Fish Hatchery Road and go back to near John Nolan Drive. As far as travel times are concerned, right now, almost a half hour on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 21 minutes going back in the westbound direction. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline southward, 17 minutes to Sauk City and US 12, and also 17 minutes to Sun Prairie on US 151 and East Washington Avenue. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, a new study shows that people who use those driver assistance technology systems may not be safer. We'll explain the results after a short break. Assistance technology like lane assist and adaptive cruise control, it's all designed to make cars safer.
But new research from AAA finds that people who use those systems are far more likely to be distracted behind the wheel.
Asleep at the wheel, literally. Cell phone video in Boston captured this man who appears to be snoozing on the freeway. It happened in Los Angeles, too. Seth Blake spotted this driver who also appears to be taking a nap while driving.
We were in his area while we were driving for probably about 10 minutes, and he only woke up one time and kind of like looked around, and then he just like went back to sleep.
Nearly 93% of all new cars have at least one available advanced driver assistance feature. They can help maintain your lane, speed, distance from other cars, or even hit the brakes. AAA found drivers who regularly use those systems are nearly twice as likely to be distracted than when those systems are turned off.
Are they essentially zoning out behind the wheel?
Yeah, I think we're seeing some evidence of that.
AAA researcher William Horry.
These technologies can actually really make it seem as though the vehicle has got these different aspects of driving covered, and so that can lull you into this false sense of security.
Car makers say drivers have to be prepared to take over at any time because these safety features do not make the car autonomous or self-driving, and they're not perfect. Here, a Tesla with autopilot engaged rear-ended a fire truck stopped on the freeway. Another slammed into a police car on the side of a Southern California road.
Tesla did not respond to repeated requests for comments, but in the past has stressed drivers need to stay engaged with the road. And while advanced driver assistance systems are becoming more common, there is no federal standard, so they all work a little differently. Laws on distracted driving still apply to drivers. And studies show taking your eyes off the road for just 2 seconds doubles your crash risk. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
And stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
For a clear, easy-to-understand forecast, watch First Alert Weather.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, the president's harsh words, his scathing letter to the Speaker of the House, and what he's accusing Democrats of on the eve of impeachment. And in the aftermath of a hurricane, a Christmas miracle, winter wonderland in the Bahamas for thousands of kids and their families. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Cold night on the way.
Yeah, it's not bad now, but there are some flurries moving through central Wisconsin. You can see that on Doppler track. They're pretty light, even high resolution, just barely picking them up. But right behind it is the colder air. So while temperatures are in the mid-20s right now and wind chills are not bad in the upper teens, by morning, those temperatures will be down to around 5 degrees with wind chills to 10 below zero. Tomorrow's high only at 18. But notice how the temperatures jump up to the mid-30s on Thursday, and then I'm looking between 40 and 45 from Friday all the way through the Christmas holiday. Maybe some rain showers late in the day on Christmas and some rain or snow showers early on Thursday. But other than that, pretty quiet forecast.
All right, Gary, and we'll have another update in 30 minutes on News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell is next.